What's up, David? What's up, Atlas? I'm trying to buy some more accounts so I can have something to trade with. I'm trying to buy my fund of futures accounts, but the website is like so laggy. I think I'm missing an account. I bought two and only one is showing up. Let me reach out to support about that. That's kind of annoying. Oh, it's still pending. Okay. I can still buy 3 more. These accounts are getting really expensive, so I need to chill. I need to start like chilling on these evals. Just because they're so expensive nowadays, it's like 20% more, so I kind of have to start trading them a bit more seriously rather than just YOLO them all. So usually I would play it with two minis, but I think I might just play with 1 mini nowadays. Bad day for you? Lost all my profits from yesterday? It was just like the overnight was kind of like nothing was going on. I thought we would push higher, but it was kind of like a tiny range, like 100 up, 100 down. Pops don't be greedy and overprice their accounts. Yeah, but it's kind of everybody now. Everybody nowadays is way more expensive. The only cheap account now is Lucid, which is like 85 bucks. All right, can you start working now? I feel like the My Funding Futures checkout used to be so much faster. What's up, Blood Polska? Yo, Blood Polska, literally, remember the trade I had where I was like, it was a very negative RR trade, like right here. And we were like, bro, this is so boring. As soon as I left stream, it was like here or here. As soon as I left stream, we just popped up and it hit my profit target like immediately. Yeah. But it was right after I left. We were like, bro, this is so boring. Nothing's happening. I left right on this candle. And then I was like, all right, I guess I'll take it. So all my funded accounts are green overnight. I can take out, I think, almost 8 or 10K today. I'm still like, my evals are still like, I'm having the worst luck with my evals though. They're just all dying. So I'm buying more right now, but my funded futures is like, the website is not good right now. Like the payout, or I mean the checkout is like, it's like freezing. Like I'm just not gonna, I guess I just won't buy any My Funded Futures accounts then. One of them is still pending, so I'll just wait for that one. Okay, so I have 3 My Funded Futures accounts. Like, can I just buy 2 more? I really need to like set a hard limit for myself this month because I don't want to spend like 10K on evals. That would be like so dumb. So I bought what, 1, 2, 3 evals on Top Step. I bought 5 on Lucid, or 4. 5? 4 or 5 on Lucid. And I'm gonna try to buy 5 on My Funded Futures. Have you tried for the next few? Yes, I have. I've taken out close to 40K with them. Almost 42K. At one point, they had the best accounts in the prop firm game. But then it cost them way too much money, so they had to stop. Fundindex Futures was the one account where you just, like 5 or like 6 months ago, it was the one firm where you just go all in and you just YOLO it every single day. Because they were the cheapest accounts. They had the most craziest accounts where you don't even need to, all you need is money. You just keep buying accounts, keep passing them, and keep YOLOing them. If I was smart and if I had a lot of disposable income, I would totally do that and try to go for like 10 or like 20k balance in all my funded accounts. After how many payouts do you find that you are profitable, and how much per payout? Just a question. I usually take about 2k per payout. Sometimes I'll let it grow more, but I usually take a payout as soon as I can, as long as I'm above the buffer. So this account, I'll take a payout, right? If this was 3k, I would not take a payout, because if I take the payout here, I would be down to 1.5k buffer if it was 3k. So like I'm like losing $500 of buffer. But if I basically wanted to reset back to a 2k account. If it's a little more, that's perfect, right? But I always take out my payouts. Like this is not real money to me, right? Until I take that payout, then it's real money, right? So this one is good for a payout. I think this is my 5th day. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This account is good for a payout. This account needs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This account needs one more day for a 2k payout. My Fundindex accounts have my Fundindex accounts are also good for like a 2.5k payout each, around there. But you never really notice like when you start becoming profitable. I might just be on a lucky winning streak. I'm actually on a very bad streak. If you guys look at my P&L, like on the daily P&L, I have not been doing that good compared to like last month. I was doing really well last month, but I'm doing very bad this month. But what's different about me as a prop firm trader is that even if I'm doing bad, the way that I trade prop firms, I'm here for payouts. I'm not here to become a better trader. Even though I'm like an okay trader, like I'm just an average trader, right? I'm not the best at trading, but what I am really good at is taking payouts, right? Yeah, it's a game. It's a game you have to learn how to beat, and I've learned how to beat it. I'm still learning how to beat it. Like I learn new things every single day. And then the firms try to push back. If you were in the prop firm game a long time ago and you were thinking about how to beat the system, at the end of the day, it all comes down to the same thing. You need money to beat the system. And people back then, there's a reason why Apex is one of the hardest. It's because people back in the day, they basically cheated Apex, but not really, because they followed the rules. They cheated Apex, and they would take $1 million payouts without being the best trader. So that's why Apex has all those rules now. Years and years and years ago, they didn't. And then they realized, wait, we're losing so much fucking money. Do you do your own live account in case a firm decides to ban you? No, I don't. I don't do my own live account. All I do is prop firms, because I'm not here to be a good trader. I'm here to take money from prop firms, right? And for example, so on my Discord, imagine if this was a real account, minus 16k. I would feel like shit. Imagine if this was a real account, another 16k, right? Imagine if this was a real account, minus 73k. Right, this is like This is enough. This will make me lose sleep. I would get depressed. I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't want to go to work. But because it's prop firms, I don't care that much. Yes, I am sad that I lost my big accounts, but it's not the end of the world. Like on that day, one of my really big red days, I lost 73,000 of capital, right? Well, that's crazy. How did I take a 10K payout? I lost 73K. I lost what, 70% of my available capital. I lost 70% of fake money, but I put 10K into my pocket, into my bank account. Isn't that crazy? I lost 16K this day. That's weird. How did I take a 4K payout of real money into my bank account? Right? I don't think this one I had a payout. This one I just had to just take it to the chin. No, I think I did take a payout. Or maybe I didn't. I'm not here to play honest or become a better trader. If one day prop firms all shut down and I can't make money from firms anymore, then I need to decide, like, I really need to learn how to trade now. I'm sure I can do it, but right now I'm here to make money from the prop firms. If a firm does ban me, I don't think they'll ban me. I'm following the rules. I'm not like breaking any rules. And I'm such a small fish, they don't care about me. Just rinse the account? Yeah. I have a meeting right now, but like usually it's pretty quick. But hold on, let me put my other accounts up for you guys. Which is the closest one? This one. Oh, it's at 9:35, so I have some time. Can't wait to get to that level. I've been trading for 5 months, no crazy progress. Yeah, it takes a bit. I'm on my third year of trading firms, so, but yeah. Okay, let me see how QQQ and SPY are. Okay, not much movement. QQQ is really close to the previous day high. I'm not really gonna chase anything here. I don't even know if I want to buy at 300 just because it's New York now. Maybe I want a bigger dip. I would say usually it takes about like 2+ years to get profitable, depending on your journey. There's certain phases you have to go through. Okay. Resilience is kind of shit. SPY resilience is good. But NQ is like really bad. Kind of don't want to trade anything in here. This feels weird, so I want 300. I want 200. I want 200 as my entry. $200 and like 186. Like 180. Where are you at? Oh, you're at 25. Okay. I definitely want to buy down here. I definitely want to buy. I'll just set some alert. Okay, which is the closest one that I could just leave on the screen? I think that's 200. Technically, I should be going long like right there. 342. I'm supposed to be going long there. I could try it. It won't hurt. 342, 332, 322. And this is just my back tested strategy, so I'm supposed to take this. Instead of 322, I guess I could just make it 300. I'll take it, but I don't love it. This is my back tested strategy, so it's about 63% win rate. I think 83% chance of this guy getting 40 points. This guy. Did it just barely miss me? Oh, nice. Okay, I got my meeting right now, but I'm gonna play around with the position sizing. I might do 2 minis at 2 or 300. I gotta decide. Okay, I just finished up my meetings. This is the rejection I was looking for. I didn't jump in with any more accounts just because if I were to short, I always trade NQ, and NQ is stronger. You can see how much stronger it is. I mean, look at ES, right? Look at how much further below we are from this level. And you can see how like we rallied at the tiniest bit above here, this 7,000 little pop to right here. So compare this rally to NQ's rally. Doesn't mean that we can't just keep going straight up, but I mean, if this candle gets taken out, this one, really don't like being in that short. And another reason why I shorted up here, I could have taken one more account, like a fresh account with just one mini, but another reason is that we're at the previous day high of ES, of NQ, of SPY, and QQQ. So what I want to see is I want to see NQ racing down faster than ES. You see how it's starting to speed up, or it's starting to like overtake ES in the short side. You can see this wick and where this candle's at versus NQ versus this candle. I kind of want to see this speed up. We're at the opening right now, so we literally went nowhere this entire day. We opened right here. We opened at, what is that? 6.3. Like nothing's happened, which is why I'm a little worried about this short, just because this red candle took us to the open and now we're just here at the open. Now we're just hanging out here. So not a green day, not a red day, but I just don't like the fact that NQ is stronger. It was showing a little bit of weakness here. Let's see if we can keep pushing down. Ideally, I'd like it below this line. This line, and I don't want to see it above what, 428 and 7,000. Nice, Bimmy. I wanted to get in close to here around 60-50, but I don't want to risk any days from my funded accounts. Like I'm already taking a payout today, so I'm just kind of chilling. So today is basically all eval accounts. Is Lucid down for me? Let me check. Oh, did you make 5K on the eval? Lucid is working for me, Bimmy. Nice, you made it on a funded. Oh, 5,500. Um, there's ways that you can. So I think Tradeovate, you can go back, you can go to a previous contract and play the spread. In that way you can lower your like basically as soon as you enter a trade, you automatically are down like X points. I've done that before where I made like 1 or 2K more. And then I just went to a previous contract on Tradeovate and I just click buy and sell, buy and sell. And each one loses X amount of dollars. I just did that until it brought it back down to consistency. All right, I gotta hop on another call. It's getting pretty busy at work. Still in the short. Hopefully this can just keep flushing down, but we'll see. All right, it's just meetings on meetings today. Like so many meetings. I'm still in this short. I've been in this short for like longer than I want to. I did take another short once we hit 3-2, like right here. So that was for 40 points. So now one more account is halfway done. That was on a Lucid account. Now I'm just kind of just waiting on this trade to take off. I don't like how the rejections from 7,000 has just been getting more and more shallow. This one candle was pretty big, and then it got bought up in the next like 10 minutes. So and the reason why I shorted here was just because we were at the previous day high for QQQ. Weakness is not here yet. I mean, we're just hovering at the 7,000 mark basically. Like maybe if we reach up here, I'll take another short, but the more that we test it and the more that we consolidate, that just means there's going to be a big move soon, and I don't really want to risk it on the up here. Like I don't hate it, but I don't like 7,006. I wouldn't consider breaking this 7,000 level. Now 7,010, 7,013, 14, I would consider this 7,000 level broken. So I could try another short up here. That was on 20 2 minis. And that's because that was for an eval. I'm not, all my funded accounts are basically, they've all hit profit target. So if I do trade with them and I get the trade wrong, I'm basically giving up a payout day, like a closer to payout day, right? So right now, today I've secured, I think, 2, 4, 8, like 8 or 9K before split. So today is all eval trading. Eval trading for 1 to 2 minis. So I started off the day red with 1 mini. My first, you know, penguins you can call it, the first accounts that take the hit, they're gonna go in with 1 mini, and then as we get further and further away from like this entry, I'll take 2 minis. So that was 2 minis excuse me, right here. I don't know, today feels like feels weird today. Like I want to short these previous day highs right here, like right here, right here, right here, and right here, but just feels weird. Like I'll still take this 2-8, 2-8, 3-4, 3-5-ish, but I mean, it's on eval, so I don't really care that much. But each eval needs 2,500. It needs 3K. Each eval for a 50, this is for a 50K eval. They need 3K, so you need 2 days of 1,500. Yeah, it's super weird, right? I mean, the overnight has been weird too. Like it's just no movement at all. Like you see this nice downtrend, and then, oh, are we going up? I mean, we've been pretty bullish. Are we going up? No. Oh, what about now? No. Let's dip again. Let's dip again. Was there any news today? There was this one. What was it? Retail sales. Nice, Bimmy. Did you just like hold a trade basically? I didn't get a chance to show you how it actually goes for trade evade, but you can look up like past evals, and if you play the spread, you're basically guaranteed to lose money if you just buy sell, because there's no volume at all for previous months contracts or previous quarters contracts, I think. Yeah, I'm breaking the 1500 into two days usually, but I did that when firms were a lot cheaper. Now firms are a lot more expensive. As you break up your evals into more and more days, the easier the trade is, right? The easier the trades are. And the reason why is because, so let's say you have a $3,000 profit target, right? And me, I play it super aggressively. So I do day one, 1500. And the only reason why I do this is because I have a huge budget. Day two, 3000, or sorry, 1500 as well. Right, plus 1500, plus 1500. But these are risky trades because when I take these trades, I basically risk my entire account. So this is a what, 2k to 1.5k trade. What is this, like 1.25, 1.5, 1.3, 1.xx to 1, right? Where this side is slightly bigger. This is bothering me. What is it? $1.33. Right? This is a decent trade to take. Right? It's not 1-to-1. You get a little bit of an advantage. But what happens if you don't care about the days like I do? Now, for people with a budget, I tell them to split it up more. You want to trade the entire month. So let's say you have a budget, right? And you want to pass within 7 days, right? So you basically take this $3,000 profit and you divide it by 7. $428. So that means day 1 through day 7, you only have to make 428 bucks. Right? Now, if you're aggressive like me, I should honestly try doing this. If I want to save money for a month. But I don't know. If you want to do this, then you are risking what, 2k for 428. And on your last days, you'll be risking more because after you reach 2k, so on day what, 5, 6, and 7, you'll have this will be an even easier trade. This is a $4.67 to 1 trade. Right? So as you break it up, your days get easier and easier, but this is just how I trade, where I usually end up risking the entire account. Just because, but you don't have to risk the entire account. You could risk 1k to this. Yeah. And on one mini, this is about 20 points. So think about it in point wise. I'm gonna, like, for day 1 to day 7, this is all I'm asking of you. I say for each day, you need to make roughly 20 points with 1 mini. Right? If you get 20 points, you'll win the trade. If you lose 100 points, then you lose the trade, right? How often do you take a 100-point loss before just the noise gives you 10, 15, 20 points? How often does that happen? Not very often, right? And if you want to split it down even more, right, you have a whole month to trade the evals. So it's up to you guys. Yeah, so some people will split this up, like imagine if it was 10 days, 15 days. Imagine how much money you'll save while still trading your strategy, and you'll pass or blow up before your subscription. So a lot of people are in a rush, but there's no need to be in a rush unless you have a huge budget and you want to make content about sharing your payouts. Do certain accounts require the 7-day evals? This is all just based off of your budget, right? Imagine you can only buy one evaluation account per month and you want to trade the entire month. Well, you want to blow up at the end of the month. You need to split it up between day 1 to like day 30. Most evals are like this. $3,000 point, right? 2 days. Some so this is like Top Step. Also, I don't know if you guys heard of the news about Top Step live accounts, but they add another reason why I don't want to go for live accounts. They made it worse actually. Take Profit Trader is 3K profit target, and you have to trade a minimum of 5 days. Usually 5 days is like the max. The minimum amount of days don't usually go past 5. If it does, I would be worried. I'd be like what's the point of this, right? So this is Take Profit Trader. I think Tradeify is 3 days. So these are like the minimums, and some of them you'll have 1 day. This is like FunNX Rapid accounts, Apex accounts, and those other accounts. Usually when you head down this direction, the rules get harder. Like 1 day accounts, 1 day to pass accounts will always have some, it won't be as good as this account, as this account. Usually 1 day to pass accounts will either have a higher profit target, maybe 4K, maybe it'll have intraday trailing drawdown like Apex. Maybe there's a daily loss limit. Yeah, I'm adjusting for each account, always risking the full risk and dividing the profit target by the number of days required. Yes. And it's up to you for how you want to split up the full risk. For me, I think I would split it up for the amount of accounts you can buy. Because the most ideal way to trade is to trade every single day of the month, right? Or at least be able to trade every single day of the month. So if you have 5 accounts per month, right? You basically want to blow up about 1 account per week. So this is like the worst case. This is like what should be the worst for you. Why? Because if you blow them up before the end of the month, so this is your budget. When you blow it up before the end of the month, you're either gonna go over your budget, so then you're feeling it in real life. You're like, oh fuck, where did this money go? Or you just don't realize how much money you're spending. Prop firms are very easy to just keep buying evaluation accounts and not know how much you spent. Like for my first month in January, I did not realize I spent like 7K, 8K. I didn't realize it until one of my viewers, Trade C, was like, hey, you should also count or include for the net profit like the evals and resets. And I was like, that's a good idea. So then I added it all up and I was like, holy shit, I'm at like 7K. Like, yes, I still took a lot of payouts, but I didn't realize I spent that much. It's like, what's it like? It's like going to the grocery store hungry, you know? You just start putting stuff in the cart. You're like, oh, this is $3. Oh, this is $5. This is $1, right? This is $4. This is $4. Another $4. I'll buy 3 of these. I'll buy 5 of these. And then you go to the checkout and you're like, wait, I spent $100. I spent $200. But I bought all these cheap items. And then you look back at the cart behind you and you realize it's stacked to the brim with all these cheap items. So that's why one of my biggest things that I tell people to look into is the budget. I might have missed that dip to get out. Yeah, good question. Does that method change once advancing from eval to funded? Yes and no. It depends on what kind of trader you want to be. Like, do you want to be a trader that takes base hits? Or do you want to be a trader that considers the funded account like your entry ticket to basically size big and just go for like 2K, 3K in the first day and then chill out the next couple of days? I'm kind of both. I've traded both ways. When I first started streaming, I was like very micro heavy. Like I only traded micros and never above like 5 micros. But nowadays I'm like, I just want the payout. So I'm just gonna risk the entire funded account on one trade. The only reason why I can do that is because I have a high budget. Would I recommend any beginner or somebody with a budget to do this? No. If you have a budget, don't do that. You should be trading with micros. If you're a beginner, you shouldn't be doing that either. If you're a beginner, you should be trading 1 to 2 micros and keeping your funded account alive for as long as possible. I guarantee you, if a beginner keeps their funded account, like their first funded account alive for 3 or 4 months, they're going to learn so much. They're going to experience a ton of market days, right? They're going to gain more confidence in their strategy, or they're going to realize, all right, the strategy, something needs to happen. Now, did I do that? No. Now that I'm at where I'm at, would I recommend that? Yes, because it's the cheapest way to get into the prop firm game. Prop firm is like, in the beginning of trading, it's not about, oh man, how much money can I make? How much money can I make? In the beginning, it's about how much money, like how do I lose? It's not about how to win the most. It's about how do I lose the least amount of money, right? It's like when you're playing blackjack and you're counting the cards. Before your count starts adding up, your thought process isn't about how do I win the most money. right? Mathematicians, people that think about it in like a math way. Right now, they're like, okay, how do I lose the least amount of money? That's why when somebody says, oh, you have 15, you're supposed to hit, right? For people that know how blackjack works, if you have a 15, right, like a king and a 5, mathematically, to lose the least amount of money over time, you have to hit, even though you're a lot, like, you're likely to bust. But what's crazy is that, like, for counting cards in blackjack, you'll get like what, 3% odds, 5% odds. I don't even know, it's insanely low. But for trading, you can start building up your odds as you become a better and better trader. You need to think about it like in the future, right? Let's say, like, as a beginner, you somehow manage to get 10 funded accounts, and then you're trading them using whatever you're using, right? Now think about yourself 2 years in the future. You're like, you will be thinking, wow, I had 10 accounts and I was trading them as a beginner. I didn't know what I was doing, right? But now if I had 10 accounts, now I can trade the way I want to. But back then I wouldn't trust myself with 10 accounts. You'll look back and you'll be like, it'll be so much cheaper if I just sized smaller and just learn how to trade. Learn whatever model you're gonna use. So for beginners, it's not about how do I make the most, it's about how do I lose the least amount of money. Go on Reddit, right? Go on Wall Street Bets, go on the day trading subreddit, go on the trading subreddit, and just scroll down and you'll see I lost everything, right? Oh, I thought day trading would make me rich. Oh, I thought this, I thought that. Oh, I over leveraged. And all of these are like little, it's like those warning signs that you see, right? You guys know when why OSHA exists and why there's like, do not do this or do not do that, right? It's warning signs made of blood, because somebody literally lost their lives doing what OSHA or whatever you know, safety reasons that they're trying to enforce. It's because someone literally died doing that. Go on Reddit, go on YouTube, go on Twitter, and look for those warning signs. There's a reason why those posts are there, right? It's to warn you. Okay, I shouldn't overtrade. Okay, this guy overtraded. He over leveraged, right? Oh, he thought he knew everything. In his first 2 months of trading, like in his first month, he was profitable. So in his second month, he sized up, thinking now I can make a lot more money. Oh, and then he lost it all, right? They're warning signs made of blood to tell you to, you know, avoid that. And I ran into those where I was profitable for like, you know, last year I was profitable for like 1-2 months. I probably made like 20K, 30K in those 2 months. And I was like, I'm gonna start posting on Reddit. I'm gonna start keeping track of my stuff. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start doing that. And then I lost all my accounts and I was just like, all right, like I just want to crawl in a hole. Like that was fucking stupid. Who did I think I was? Of course I wasn't ready yet. And now that I'm here, like to where I'm at, I'm still working on myself. I've come to a conclusion where it's like, you never really stop learning while you're trading. Even now, I'm still experimenting. I'm still trying to learn new stuff. Like I'm trying to learn how to scalp. Just because if I become a really good scalper, it's really the way that I trade prop firms, it'll help me a lot. And if you're a really good scalper, scalpers don't care about rules. They don't care about intraday trailing drawdown. They don't care about consistency, because scalpers go for base hits. They get in, they get out, right? Even if there's noise up or down, they get in and get out. So I'm trying to figure out how to scalp. Last night I was scalping on stream. And I mean, it went well. Is it something that I should be testing with fund accounts? Not really. Am I taking the worst trades in the world? Not really. I'm not like scalping just like I'm gonna click this button. Some of it is like discretionary, and that's the thing about scalping. When you go for 10 or 20 points, you don't have to be right about the overall market bias. You just have to be right about 10 or 20 points. 10, 15 points. You just need to be right about the noise. So you're not chasing higher highs, new highs, new highs. You're kind of just looking for a trend, a decent pullback, and you're like, what are the odds that we bounce like 10 points from here? And then how long can I hold for? How much do I want to hold for? So I'm messing with that idea right now. How are you defining scalping? I'm defining scalping as a base hit of 10 to 20 points while risking either, you can risk like 40 or 60 points. That's how I'm going to try scalping. And a lot of people kind of shit on negative RR just because they're like, oh, mathematically you aren't profitable if this. But you need to think about how prop firms work. If you win in most of your accounts, they get closer and closer to a payout. You don't have to win in all your accounts, but the more often that you win, the closer you are to a payout, even if you risk more. And the perfect example is me this week. This is a negative week for me. It's been a negative like 2 weeks for me. My P&L is negative. I've been a shit trader, but how am I still pulling out payout after payout? Doesn't make sense, right? Kind of feels like cheating, right? I'm losing fake money and I'm putting real money in my bank account. It's because of how I organize my trades, how I organize my accounts. Even if I do have some dumb moment where I full port some account or I do some stupid psychology stuff, I go on tilt, I'm like, I'm still able to take payouts, right? Like I'm not the best trader. I still do the same thing that every trader does. I still tilt. I still need to work on my psychology, right? Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But imagine if you were me, and imagine if you were a good trader. Now that would be crazy. Right? So that's why at the end of this challenge, I'll be looking to like sell the premium, which is basically just showing that I'm an average trader and I'm able to take 100K in payouts. And I think anyone can get to the level where I'm at. But imagine if you were better than me. Now that would be crazy. That's me. I got in and got out. My average trade hold is 2 minutes. Yeah, exactly. I feel like scalpers is like what you want to be in prop firm trading. Oh, you got into Orb because you were talking about it yesterday and you hit TP for the first time? Nice. What's good about Orb is that it's very easy to test. It's very easy to back test, right? Because you know exactly where your entry is. You know exactly where your stop loss is and take profit day by day, right? So Orb is a decent strategy, but historically it's 50-50, right? So you need to add confluences to your Orb. Maybe add like, I don't know, any indicator, VWAP, Bollinger Bands, EMA, SMA, this or that, right? And then configure your strategy. Okay, I only want to buy when it's like this. Okay, well, what if I want to buy only on a pullback, right? If I let it pull back to 50% of the range, what are the odds of me winning, right? What if I go for 2-to-1 RR? Well, if you go for a 2-to-1 RR, if you wait for the pullback, your entry is even better than the people that chased the first breakout. What is orb? It's called opening range breakout. It's a strategy where basically, depending on how you do it, it's like 5, 10, 15, an hour, 30. You just choose a time frame. So I'll go for the 30-minute orb right here, right? And you take the opening range, the first 30-minute opening range. 9:30, 10. Is this it? Or is this 9 to 9:30? And it's wait, what is this right now? This is 11. So this is 11 to 11:30. So this is 9:30 to 10. So you basically, I'm pretty sure this is how it's supposed to go. You set up a line here. You set up a line here. This is your opening range. Now, as soon as you break that range, on the long side, you go long. If you break the range on the short side, you go short. And then you decide your stop loss and your entry. So I think what some people do is they'll do like this, right? Maybe their stop loss is below this range. Maybe it's something like this. I don't really know. Or maybe you just go for like 50 points, 50 points. I don't know. Now you can see how today you wouldn't necessarily be in a winning trade depending on what your RR is, right? Because it broke out and then went back down. So then you need to think about, as you see more and more of these days, you need to think about, wait a second, how do I make this better? Okay, what if I wait for a 50% pullback? That's interesting. What about, wouldn't my entry be better than if I just chase this long right here? Right? Oh, that's volume profile. Oops. Where's my fib retracement? Right here. You're like, okay, well, what if I wanted to retrace 38%, right? 50%. Well, then your longs are going to look like this. Wouldn't you rather be in this long? Well, what if you go for 2-to-1? Right? Or would you rather be in this long? Well, maybe this is also 2-to-1. Who knows? Wouldn't you say that for today this is a better entry? Now this is where backtesting comes in. You go and you backtest this. And then you're like, okay, well, when we break below VWAP, it's like a really good trade. When we break above the orb and we pull back to VWAP, maybe that's my first entry. Okay, that looks pretty good for today. And then you go back and you go do it for every single day. And then you write down your back test. So something called the opening range breakout. Maybe I'll do an opening range breakout model. I'm pretty confident I can make an opening range breakout model that's profitable. Because I think every single strategy is profitable. You just need to configure it. You're using trend lines right now. I got into a trade because it was an uptrend, but I don't know if it was kind of lucky though. So trend lines are good as long as there's no reversal. If it's a range bound day, and it depends on whatever you're targeting, where's your entry. There's a way you can change it from, oh, I'm feeling lucky, to, oh, my model worked, right? You go back, you test for, who knows, a year. You give yourself a win rate, and R to R, you have an expected win rate and expected profit or loss, right? Like today, during the morning stream, I took a loss on these two accounts because I got in at my entry, my back tested model here. I got in on this green line right here. I bought in at 4.2, 3.2, and 2.2. Now in my back test, there's a 83% chance of the last entry going for 40 points. And I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good bet. Now, does it always happen? No, of course not, right? And the stop loss is about 60 points. Like this would have been a better entry right here. Yeah, this would have never stopped out. But I wasn't awake for this. It was like 7:30. This is another entry here. I didn't take any of this. It was the ranging, but 3, 4, yeah. This was the first entry. This was the second entry, and I just took the third entry, which ended up losing. That's because I wasn't awake for these two. How do you backtest? You literally just, so you need like something like TradingView or Thinkorswim, something that has historical data, so that way you can go all the way back to a random day and you can still, like, these are all my back tests. You see these squares are the trades that win, and I put circles for trades that loses. And then for everyone that wins or loses, I have this Excel sheet that I use. Now I haven't used it in a while. I should probably start backtesting this more, but kind of got over this strategy. It's still something that I'll use, but it's like whatever. So this is how you backtest. I have the dates. So for my columns, I have like date, win or lose. Did I go long or short? And then I added DCA. Did DCA save this? Save this trade? What was the max loss? How much drawdown did I take? Okay, what was the max profit? How far did it run up? Right? Did I get at least 30 points? Did I get at least 40 points? What's my win rate? What's my RR? How many wins? How many losses? How much losses saved by DCA? What's my win rate for at least one of my accounts getting 40 points if I DCA? Okay, it's 83%. Right? Total points you win over X period of time if you took your trade. Total points you would win if you added DCA or whatever little strategy you can, little confluence you can add, right? How many of your wins was 100+ point winners? So should I hold this trade? Well, how far should I hold to? Should I hold for 100+ points? Well, the 100+ point wins is about 43 out of 149. So if I want to be greedy and hold for 100 points, how greedy am I being? Right? Was it 149? Divided by 43. So every 3 wins, every 3 to 4 wins, one of them is a 100+ point winner. Okay, so it's about a 30% chance if I want to hold for 100 points. Okay, well, what if I leave one runner and I'll hold that one runner for 100+ points? If every 3 wins there's 100+ points, then maybe I should hold one runner. All the other accounts take the base hit. You see all this back tests, and I guarantee you 99% of people don't back test with this idea in their head. How do I make this better? Okay, should I hold? Okay, well, what's my max loss? Okay, well, what about this? Okay, what about that? Most people just back test like this, these 3 columns. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you long or short? And maybe they'll add some journal, right? So in my opinion, people are not back testing enough. If you're not back testing like this, where you're racking your brain trying to think of anything to make your strategy more profitable, then you're not back testing correctly. And almost everyone out there is not back testing correctly. Right? I do all of this and I'm an average trader. If you don't do all of this, then what does that make you? Right? So I see a bunch of people on Reddit like, oh, my back test is this, you know, I did it for like 1 month. This strategy doesn't work, I'm giving up on it. It can be tweaked using 8 to 21 MAs. Yeah, so that's called confluence. Yeah. If it's a strong breakout, wait for pullbacks. Yeah, exactly. And just keep your strategy simple. There's no need to make a strategy so complicated where you're like, am I supposed to jump in now? Am I supposed to go long now? I don't know. Now, I'm not going to take this long because I'm in a short. And because there was already these 2 wins. So statistically, right, this is like a 50-50. So I'm not going to take this. But like I'll take it for data. Like I'll just look at this and I'll see where it goes. Like, do we get the 40 points, or is this the flush we were waiting for? I don't even know like what my trade is doing right now. What am I at? 1270. Oh, I was disconnected. All right, it's 900-ish now. Oh, well, there goes my chance to exit. If this trade goes back up to what, 385, of course 3 out of 4 of it worked. 3 out of 4 entries worked. But the 1 entry I took right here was a loss, because of course it would be. The entry model is supposed to be first entry at 344, second entry at 334. It's looking okay right now, but I'm like betting against my own strategy because I'm in a short right now. But according to my strategy, like I'm more likely to get back up here than to break down below. So that means I should be like exiting this trade for like, if I can break even, it'll be decent. So I'm kind of hoping for this back tested strategy to fail. Not in the meeting anymore. Oh, I am working on this. I think I might start working on a orb strategy. I need to figure out how I want to use it though. What indicators do I want to add to it? What's my RR? Should I risk this entire candle, or should I go for like 40 points? Should it be a scalp? Wait a second. I gotta check something to see if I have any free accounts. What do I, is it rewards? Credit thing? Oh, I didn't, wait, what? Dude, I completely forgot that Take Profit Trader has like a reward system. Okay, so I have enough points for like a free reset. That's like nothing. Oh, I see. I see. Why is this price action so brutal? I'm still in a short. Like I mean, at this point, I should just hold on to it. NQ is starting to get a bit weaker. Or should I just exit it and just get like, this is like a free reset on this account? It was already down 900 bucks. But like, look at how weak NQ is compared to, oh wait a second. So if ES sells, like NASDAQ will flush a lot faster. And I think I need like what? I need 2,600? 2,500? What is that? Oh, that's kind of asking for a lot though. That's like asking for this bottom range. Have you looked at the overnight range, try to predict how the market open will behave? I've done something like the opposite of that. I have something called the average expected close, where through data analysis, I have like somewhat of a reasonable guess to where the market will be closed at around 5 p.m. depending on how high or how low that we go. So let's say I expect the market, like right now I have no data because we went nowhere today. Like we literally went nowhere. I don't have any data. But if we go up 300 points, 400 points, 500 points, I have an idea of where the market will close. So what does that mean? That means as we dip or rally even higher, and we're really far away from where I expect it to close, I'm willing to have a position before MOC to try and get to that position or get to that price. So I have like the opposite of that. Not the open, but the market close. So where will the price be around 5 p.m. today? Well, for today, I have no idea. Just because today is like a snooze fest. Like, do I want to hold on to this? Kind of don't. This feels like a day that we just kind of chop around. Like, if today closes at 25363, that would be crazy. That means we literally went nowhere today. And the only reason why I'm holding on to this is because this is an eval, so I don't care if this blows up. And also because you can see NQ is weaker than ES. Now what that means is that if ES starts selling off, you'll see an even faster sell-off on NQ. So I'm kind of just holding on to this position and seeing where we'll get. I'm gonna be right back. Let me know if I lost everything. All right. Did I lose everything? All right, we went nowhere. Went no. So this is what I mean by NQ is weaker. Even though ES had this pop, you can see NQ is just like being lazy down here. So what I wanted to see was if ES starts selling off, this is going to start speeding up. And that's why I don't mind being in this trade. So you see how this tiny bit of sell off, not even to lower lows, and NQ created a lower low here. Doesn't mean that ES won't catch a bid and just start rallying. Like, that could totally happen. What I am worried about, and I hope this doesn't happen, is you get a pop like this, right? And then you have a slow and steady sell off like this. And then you have one candle that's the size of like 7 of these candles in like 5 minutes. I really don't want to see that. When you're selling off, you don't want it to look like stairs. You know, you take the stairs up, take the escalator down. Not this slow and choppy movement down. Like, that kind of sucks. This is an eval. Yep. All my funded accounts are all green today. I took overnight scalps with them, so there's no point in me trading a funded account today. Today after market, I should be able to take about 8 to 10k pre-split. Yeah, almost at 100k, almost there. I'm still talking to Fun Next about my other accounts, my 2 like breached accounts during the Trade of 8 server crash or server outage. If I had those accounts, I would have probably already made, let's see, I'm at 82, 10, 90-ish. I would have been even closer to the 100k. After 100k though, I need to start making a goal. I need to start making a new goal. What I really need right now is I need some take profit accounts. I need some healthy take profit accounts, and then maybe on the next Apex sale, I'll next Apex sale, I'll try to get another 20. But Apex is such a headache. That's why I'm practicing scalping, because Apex is meant for scalpers. You started with how many funded accounts this year and how many you lost and passed new? I started this year, I think, with like 20 something. 25-ish. Now I'm down to like 2, 3, 7, 10. I'm down to 7 now. Or I mean, I'm sorry, I'm down to 10, right? Because 6, 8, 9, 12. I'm actually at 12 if Fun Next gives me back my accounts, which I hope they do, because I lost those accounts basically due to that Trade of 8 the Trade of 8 server outage. So half loss, still almost 100k in profit. Yeah. So I lose accounts. I'm not the best trader, right? So I'm here to take out money. Yeah, thanks, man. There's still a bunch of stuff that I want to test out, like what if I just full port funded accounts? But I need to get back to max allocation with Top Step. I need to get back with max allocation with everything. That's step 1. Step 2 is then getting more accounts in reserves. So let's say I have 5 Top Step accounts, or 5 Top Step funded accounts, and then I have a 6th one waiting for me. That means I can start taking one of my funded accounts, the one with the lowest balance, and then start trading it with minis, and then just risking the entire account balance. That's how I made it to 10k of buffer in my Apex accounts. I risked the entire account balance every single time. So, but the first thing is I need to get max allocation. Yeah, max allocation for Top Step is 5. So I reset 3 more like last night, because if I didn't reset it, I would not be trading at all on stream. Like there'll be no trades at all. This one is close to halfway done. It's 1200. I'm not going to push for 300 bucks more. I'm just going to leave it like that. This one I'm just leaving. Maybe this one I'll shoot for the 1500, which is like 50 points from here. One Lucid account is 50% done, and 2 My Funded Futures accounts are 50% done. 1 My Funded Future account died during trading today. Oh, that's okay. I think once I reach 100k, I'm just gonna start chilling out. I need to start trading micros again. and not above like 5 with my funded accounts. I need to start trading like 2 to 3 micros. Build up my funded accounts. Backups like 20-ish. I want 5 with Top Step, 5 with my funded futures, 5 with Lucid. That's 15 right there. Take Profit Trader. I always full port those because intraday trailing drawdown is prop trader's worst enemy. So that one I'll probably trade in the background. Apex, if I redo those, I'll probably trade it in the background because I always YOLO those accounts. But they've been cracking down. Apex has been cracking down on their 30% MAE rule. So that pushes them to the back of my list because on their MAE rule, like email, they say if you break it too many times, you'll be like prohibited from Apex. So like I already took out like 12K from Apex. So I'm at a net profit of whatever I spent on Apex. Do I really want to just keep trying? And then what happens if I get a ban or prohibited? That would suck. Are you doing this full time? No, I have a day job. I'm an engineer. I wouldn't consider doing this full time until I could make like 300, 400K a year. Using prop firms or mentoring or anything like that. So no, not yet. I've heard of some people getting banned on Apex. Any knowledge of that yourself? I actually do know someone personally who got banned from Apex. He took out probably close to $1 million. $1 million from Apex. Now, was the ban justified? Sort of. Usually the bans are all justified because they don't want to risk bad PR, right? Bad PR is going to cost them more than whatever payout they could just give you. So I myself haven't been banned, but everyone that has been banned, I guarantee you that they did something they shouldn't have. What field are you in? What are you engineering? I'm a quality engineer, so I do automated testing using Playwright. So in the software field. What were they banned for? All right, you didn't hear it from me because you'll probably hear about him soon. But basically, he also likes to DCA like me, but more aggressively. Maybe I don't know how he DCAs, but I know he DCAs. And Apex, they like tasteful DCAs. They don't like certain kind of DCAs. I'm not here to throw him under the bus or anything because you're gonna hear about him soon. Because he's starting to work on some social content creation stuff, like me, but more open. His selling point is he took $1 million in payouts, so a bit better than me. And his other selling point is that he got banned from Apex. So those two little highlights are gonna get him a lot of clicks. Will you let us know when he starts to make content? Yeah, I'll let you guys know. You work from home? Yes. Yeah, so on the side, when I'm like on a side, I'm basically always working. Right now, I'm on lunch though. Never heard of Playwright? Let's say good software. It's basically a testing framework that you can use. If you're familiar with JavaScript, it uses TypeScript, which is just type safety JavaScript. I think you can also use Python with it. I forget which one you use, Tradesy. Do you use Python? I think Thanos uses Python. Need to test before making it live. You look, yeah. It's good for like very repetitive testing. So you can basically assign a GitHub action to it or whatever CI/CD action you want. You know, put it into the CI/CD pipeline where every release, right? You can set scripts or have some agent run the Playwright test. So if any core functionality tests that you have, like some smoke tests, if anything doesn't work, then you know it can get blocked, right? And then it'll tell you where it messed up. There's also a way for it to record a video of the actual test, right? So the actual Playwright software opening up a browser, going to your site, doing XYZ. If something is broken, it's going to stop because it can't interact with anything, or maybe it's not expecting this element, or maybe it's not expecting this number. Yeah, for web, PHP, Python, JavaScript. Oh yeah, it'll be perfect for you then. It's not too tough because I'm not like a software developer. So quality engineering, there's not as much like not expertise, but it's not as intense as being a software developer. I'm just here to write some tests, man. You use Browser Stack. Looks like they use Playwright. I think I've heard about that. I think I've heard of Browser Stack. Oh wait, how is DCA subjective? DCA is subjective. Well, a lot of Apex rules are kind of like, some of their rules are like, you can do it, but you can't abuse it. There's a way to abuse DCA. You abuse DCA by DCAing into your entire account. You can do it without getting in trouble. I think as long as you're like small fish, you can get away with it. But like my cousin was not, he's not a small fish. He had like $700,000 of balance of drawdown basically. Apex allowing DCA, they do, but it's like this. You can't DCA and risk your entire account. And the reason why is because it's kind of like martingale. So I'm going to show you an example of a not allowed DCA strategy. And it basically works for the majority of days depending on how you DCA. So on normal days, as long as you have a normal market, you'll get profit, right? Let's say this is what you want. Every single day you want to make 200 bucks. You don't care about how much you want to risk, right? You want to make 200 bucks. How much do you want to, well, what if you just risk your entire account? Okay. Let's start with 3, 4, or 5 micros. You start with 5 micros. So as price goes down, you long with 5 micros here. Okay, price is still going down. Oh shit. Well, it's okay because I'm willing to risk my entire account of 2K. So let me long with 5 more micros here. Now your cost average is like right here, right? So I'll go one more example, one more level down. Oh shit, it's going down more. So the cost average is 1 mini, capital M. Oh shit, we're down here. This day has been absolutely trash to trade. What kind of day goes down like this with no pops? So then you long with 5 micros or 1 mini here. Right, now your cost average, depending on what you got into, is somewhere around this range. Right? Now what kind, now do days just crash like this forever? Only on the worst days, right? So you're able to hold for about 100 points, maybe more than 100 points, depending on how you DCA. You're able to hold for that long. And then on this pop-up here, that's when you just get your 200 bucks. So 5 micros, how many points were you looking for here? 5 micros. Well, you're looking for 20 points above your cost average. Well, what about down here? Now you have a cost average of 1 mini, right? You're looking for 20 points here. Well, now you're only looking for 10 points above this line. Well, what about down here? Let's say you have a cost average of 2 minis down here. Well, now you only need 5 points. Above your cost average. So imagine you had a streak of days, of normal looking days, where you don't crash hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of points. And you're looking for 200 or 400, whatever you're looking for. If you're looking for 400, you're looking for 10 points on 2 minis. So on a day like this, where you wait for a dip to wherever entry you're looking for, and it pops 20 points. I mean, 20 points is doable, right? Oh, now we're below your entry. Okay, well now we only need to pop above this line for 10 points. Oh, now you're below this entry. Oh, well now you only need to pop above this point for 5 points. And usually as long as you don't have a day that goes like this, you have a day that goes like this, you can potentially, and usually you can just cash out here, or maybe you're lucky enough to get 20 points here. You can cash out here, you can cash out here, you can cash out here, cash out here. So DCA is kind of like martingale. And what is martingale? Martingale is a gambling strategy. Martingale works assuming you have infinite money. Martingale will always work if you have infinite money. Well, with prop firms, as long as you have money, you're pretty close to infinity. Especially if you can keep buying back in. You're like really close to infinity. There's a reason why prop firms don't like these martingale, these strategies. Because they tend to work. So that's why DCA is not, that kind of DCA is not allowed. Now, on a market like these past, this week, if you tried it, you would have gone, most likely you would have gone like destroyed. But weeks that are like kind of like this, like this entire stretch, almost 2 weeks worth of like winning, right? Imagine if you copy traded and DCA'd everything. What about here? I thought we explained this basic DCA strategy. What part of that is not allowed? Basically, they don't like DCAing until you blow up your entire account. There's a reason why they cap your loss to 30% of your account. So that's the part that's not allowed. But if you're a small fish like me, or like 99% of people, they most likely won't ban your account. And usually if they do ban your account and you have a balance, they'll probably pay you out. Just because they'll lose more money if they get bad PR than paying you out. Yes. Yeah. What they're betting on is that the 30% max loss is too low for you to snowball an account. Because as you DCA, every dip hits harder and harder because, you know, your cost average does get lowered, but your position size increases. So then as you start falling lower and lower, and if you don't get that bounce, you're falling like 2 times as fast. Now usually markets don't do that, we just go straight down. If you can enter a clean, like calm market, most dips will have a little bit of a V of B pop like this. Like for example, if you DCA'd here, right? You just got in, like, let's say here 30% here, and you DCA down here and down here and down here, and then on the pop you'll be making profit like right here. And then if you're looking for like 200 bucks, it'll be like so close to here that you just need it. You didn't even need this huge candle, you just need like 50% of this candle, 40%. DCA is fine as long as you don't blow the other rules. Yes, yeah. And I'm pretty sure in their rule page they say that they allow DCA. Let me see if I can find it. Apex DCA rule. Yeah, so these DCA is allowed, you just can't exceed the 30%, that 30% rule that we talked about. But once you DCA and try to use that DCA to beat prop firms, then that's when Apex kind of gets like, And that's why they also have the 10-to-1 rule, right? The max you can risk is a 10-to-1 trade, which is the max you can risk for $100 is $1,000. And they do this because of that rule I just talked about, right? If I give you an example, let's say you have $20,000 in drawdown. How easy would this be to make 200 bucks every single day? You have $20,000. You just need to make 200 bucks. You just need to look for like a slot, like you just have to get in on any of this. You can just buy here or buy here. You just buy anywhere. DCA down, hold with $20,000, and on any pop you'll make your 200 bucks. All right, you're done for the day. Next day, even on a day that crashes like this, as long as you DCA correctly, right? As long as there's not a day that just there, this is 5 p.m, this is the entire day. If you DCA correctly, and markets usually have little pops, yeah. So once you get to $20,000 in balance, how much money can you take out? You can take out a lot of money consistently. One of the ways to beat prop firms right there. That was going to be, that's also going to be in my course. That was kind of a sneak peek, but you basically got it. Now, how everyone DCAs is different. It doesn't mean that I DCA right or you DCA wrong. More or less. Now, does that mean he's a bad trader? No, because he'll probably show it, but he has had like a 60+ day win streak on Apex. He showed it to me. But I mean, there's money to be made in the prop firm world, so he's taking that million out. Like, although he does have to pay a shit ton in taxes. Like, I don't even know what his tax bill is. I think he's trying to my other cousin is a CPA, and they're trying to figure out how to lower his tax bill basically. I hired a CPA as well, not my cousin, but I hired a CPA. My final meeting with them is today actually, to lower my tax bill. But I think next year I might go with my cousin, or I might go with my cousin this year. Why do you think he was eventually flagged? Well, he had about $700,000 in drawdown, and he lost about 90% of it in one day. Now, what was crazy was that when I went back home to see him and my family and talk to him, so we're both profitable. We know what makes a trader profitable. We know what makes a trader good, right? What traits a good trader has. So we talked about it. And what's crazy is that right before he had that day where he lost like 90%, I told him, I was like, the last thing that's stopping you from being a professional trader, like an A+ trader, is you need to have a max loss limit for the day where you just step away and you're just like, all right, I'm done trading for the day. I can't handle this loss. And he agreed. But he didn't do it the next day. So he lost about like 90% of his drawdown. I think he brought it back to a decent amount. But yeah. And that's also something that I have to work on too. Like, you would have to be a crazy trader to lose 73K in a day, which is what I did. Yeah, now was it 2% day? Yes, it was, but still. 2% days happen 2% of the time. So you need to have kind of safeguards in place for days like that. I'm still tinkering with what should be my max loss. When do I call it? And I think my max, like, I call it when it becomes a 2% day. I'm like, all right, I'm not handling this anymore because this happens 2% of the time. Wouldn't I just not want to trade this anymore and just call it a day? I don't want to update Microsoft Office. That's wild. So just a day where you couldn't average in and broke 30% by large margin. Do you think he was within the 30% rule on the rest of the days? I'm not sure. I do know he's had some pretty lucky breaks because he told me like trading is where skill meets luck, right? You can have the skill to be a good trader, but the market can just say fuck you, right? I think a majority of those days he's in and out pretty quick, because he's a scalper. Like, he would scalp 10 to 20 points like during the overnight. Now the crazy thing about him is this is the one thing that him and I probably, I don't know if he'll teach copy trading, but he copy trades religiously. I do not. So he may teach copy trading, but I don't. And it's because of days like that. It's because of days like that where if you are DCAing and you are copy trading, you lose 70 to 90% in one account, you lose 70 to 90% in all accounts. You blow up one account, you blow up all accounts. No matter how much your model works and how much you trust it, there will be days like that. But you could also think about it is like the question of, well, how much can I make before that one day fucks me over? So there's no right or wrong way to trade. So I'm not gonna be like, I advise against copy trading. Why? Because I have proof of what happens as for myself. He's banned forever. When you're banned from Apex, you can't buy any more valuation accounts. Well, when a prop firm bans you, you're banned forever. They have your info. They have your name, your address. They probably have your social security too. But it's good PR that he's banned for him. Prop firms only ban people that are making too much money or using tactics that gives them too much of an upper hand. Copy trading is over leveraging in a way. Yeah, there's a way to copy trade correctly, but you need to size way down. But when you're scalping with like 1 or 2 minis and you're only looking for 10 points, what are the odds that you blow up your account before you get your 10 points? Especially if it's overnight. And you wait for a setup, you wait for a pullback. Odds are pretty good. Definitely is over leveraging in a way, but I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to say anyone's trading is wrong. I'm not going to say his way of trading is wrong. Why? Because he's made more money than me, right? At the end of the day, it only matters about how much you make. I personally don't listen to anyone that's made less money than me. So I do listen to my cousin. Now, do I agree with his points, or am I going to follow how he trades? No. Because I don't blindly follow people either. I'm my own trader. I'll make my own money, I'll lose my own money. And he's also came to the conclusion. He's like, yeah, no, there's a million ways to make money in the market. Everyone has a chance to make money. You can be long, you can be short, you'll make money. Yeah, proof is in the payouts. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to be like, hey, now, will I still talk to him and say, like, I don't necessarily give him advice, but we have discussions about what are the next steps, or like, what are we missing as traders? And he's not some arrogant, like, you know, douchebag. He knows what he's missing. I know what he's missing. He knows what I'm missing. I know what I'm missing, right? So we're like, yeah, we definitely need to work on this. He's like, yeah, I need to work on this. And then I'm like, yeah, I need to work on this too. You know, yada, yada. That's why I appreciate your stream. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that you said that. A lot of people won't show consistent huge losses like me, but the more losses that I take and the more payouts that I take, even though I'm losing, it's kind of like, it's who I am as a trader. It's how I trade. Like, I want people to open their eyes. They're like, wait, this guy is not that good of a trader. He's like an average trader, but how is he making so much money? That's like my selling point. Is that possible that he repeats that on other prop firms? Are there rules to prevent it? I think he's taken out some decent change from Take Profit Trader. Take Profit is very similar to Apex. Intraday trailing. Take Profit is also one of those firms that have approved $1 million payouts. So that's why traders love Take Profit, because it's almost like Apex minus like the 30% MAE rule. but you can only have 5 accounts. The reason why people like Apex and want to trade with Apex and TPT is because people have taken $1 million payouts from those firms. No one's taken $1 million payout from My Fund of Futures. No one's taken $1 million from Top Step. No one's taking $1 million from Lucid. Why? Well, it's because of how their setup is. They have barriers in place. They have a max. Prop firms themselves usually have a max loss for every trader. How much can a trader hurt me as a company before I tell them, all right, you're going live, right? If you're going to make any more money, I'm taking some of your money, right? You're not going to paper trade and you're going to keep taking money from us. That's what the live programs are. Live programs are for traders that do too much damage to the firm. And that's why some firms, after you're live, they don't want you back into the sim world because you've already taken out so much money from them. So some firms will ban you if you fail their live accounts. Because they know that you know how to beat the prop game system. But you blew up your live account. That's weird. If you're profitable, you can take money from us if it's a sim account with 5 accounts. But we give you a live account and you blew it up. That's weird. Right? Because these people know how to play the prop game. I've gotten close to live, I think like 3 or 4 times. But what I always do is that right before I go live, I want to go live with the max capital. So for Top Step, I want to go live with 150K. So what do? I over leverage, right? To either get that max or I blow the account and just go back and do some more funded accounts. Now I'm not blowing up on purpose. I am still honestly trading. Like, you know, I'm still going to believe in these setups. But I'm not going to win 100% of the time, right? So I got to my 4th payout. I think a bunch of, like, honestly, I can't remember how many times. But now I don't know if you guys heard about Top Step, but Top Step made their live program even worse. You don't get access to all your live funds at one time. They're really like pushing away. I don't know, I just feel like everything they're doing is like pushing away traders. Because how does it work? It's like so complicated. I think the biggest 2 things is that you don't get your entire balance. So let's say you go live with 150K, right? On the first day of live, you only get 20% of your 150K. And as you start hitting some profit targets, your next 20% will unlock. And there's like 5 different profit targets to unlock all of your account balance. So people who are already in the live account system, they still have the old rules, but new people will have that 20% available capital to start with. So people are not liking that. People have not been liking a lot of what Top Step has been putting out. And I think they've also like taken a bunch of people live and they've only taken like 1 payout from all their accounts they copy traded. So they'll take out like 25K, they'll have some good amount of buffer left in their accounts, and then they call them up to live. So me, I'm a pretty small fish, so I'm pretty glad that that hasn't happened to me. I only take like 2K-ish payouts. 2K, 2.5, maybe a 3K payout here and there, and I don't copy trade, so I'm not taking like 10K plus at a time. 306 was the low. Maybe I should have considered getting out around 300. I was just kind of hoping that ES would sell off a little bit more. But it kind of looks like NQ is getting its strength back. Let's see if this will break above 7,000 and fill this account. I think this is my last trade for the day. I'm not really interested in taking any more trades. Maybe I'll take another short up here on another account. I don't know. I could do this. 3826 was the high of day. 3826. Might just leave these two in here. I think that's gonna be it for stream. I'm gonna grab some lunch and then put my head down and do some work. Thanks for everyone that joined. I hope to see you guys in the overnight stream, guys. Peace.